The tea is exceptionally good today. Who made this? Very delicious. Hold on.
Okay, babes, don't you dare scroll away from this video. I need you to grab your iced latte or your chamomile tea, something that's going to relax you. We need to talk about this new moon and Mercury Retrograde in Scorpio. If you're new here, hi, I'm Nova Charm and welcome to Astrology Tea with Nova Charm. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about these cosmos in the Scorpio energy doing the most, okay? But the beautiful thing about this new moon energy, as well as this Mercury retrograde energy, is if you are trying to level up, this is the perfect energy to do so, okay? Yes, babes, it's time for us to reclaim our power and also stand in it. Stop playing. But before we get too deep into it, you already know the drill. Go ahead and hit that like. Go ahead and subscribe to your girl. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I want to sip with you. Now let's get into it. Now, y'all, we are literally swimming in Scorpio season, okay? The sun is in Scorpio, of course. The new moon, of course, is in Scorpio. And now we got the Mercury retrograde sliding into Scorpio. Not just going into Scorpio on the 29th degree. Okay, you know that fated degree that I always be talking about. That karmic degree that comes in and changes up things whether you want it to or not. Yeah, some of that. And you know that Scorpio energy is all about that death and rebirth. So it's all about that transformation, that instant transformation, okay? And by Scorpio being in the sun, it's definitely going to be bringing a lot of those secrets and those dark things into the light. Now, I have to say, I think we're already starting to see it in this pre-shadow phase of this energy. Honey, we're seeing it. Them Epstein files was something else, child. I don't even know what else to say. But the energy is definitely calling for what's done in the dark will always come to light. And it's the time for it to come to the light, okay? Now, personally, you might find this out in relationships too because Scorpio is also sitting in Venus. Like, Scorpio is making her rounds everywhere, okay? And we all know Scorpio is a bad bitch. She come to get shit done. And when it comes to that Venus energy, you better know your worth, sis. This is the time to know your power and stand in it and stand on it, okay? Those Scorpio waters are like the deep end of the pool, and especially in the 29th degrees. So, baby, you better learn how to swim or you better learn how to float. Either way, I'm going to give you the tea on how to maneuver through this energy so you don't feel like you drowned in, okay? Okay, so let's start with the fact that we have the Sun, Venus, and Mercury all giving main character energy in Scorpio. Now, this is not a time to be timid and just wishful thinking. No, this is a time to be aggressive for power moves, okay? Now, because of the fact that we are dealing with retrograde energy, like I said, typically with retrograde, especially Mercury retrogrades, it's kind of a time for you to reflect inwards and not really make any outward moves. However, because of the fact that this is a new moon, we do want to make sure that we act on things that would affect us internally. We are talking about that internal work and not necessarily the external work, okay? Now, of course, Mercury deals with communication, short trips, technology, things of that nature, our intellect and our mind. It also deals with the information that we take in and our knowledge. So when a Mercury retrograde happens, of course, we have hiccups in all of these areas. I always tell y'all, if that ex hop in that DM, please For the love of God, leave them where they are at, okay? Mercury retrogrades is not a time to get back with anybody. Of course, it's always a time where you can revisit information. People are merely mirrors to us, and especially when it comes to partnerships. So if somebody is coming to you during that time, there is a lesson that you are meaning to learn from them. I say all the time on this channel that partnerships are like mirrors. So take that time to learn and see what you need to see about yourself, or see the things that you need to learn. Mercury is about learning, okay? Now, by this energy being in Scorpio and also at a 29th degree, honey, Mercury is closing out a chapter, and it's definitely going to make it spicy, okay? This is the universe's way of saying, girl, you are going to address whatever fear, whatever drama, whatever secret that you've been sitting on that has been diminishing your power and keeping you from stepping into your most confident and vibrant self. This is an audit. This is a final audit before the glow up. Now, don't hide the truth. It's time to claim it. Now, typically with the new moon, we have our little cute little intentions, and we set our little affirmations, and we have, our little things that we say. But no, okay, this energy is not calling for that little cutesy. It's like, no, we're manifesting big. Think financial freedom. Think unbreakable boundaries, and think soulmate level connections. Set your intentions for the life you deserve, because the cosmos is listening like your personal investor, okay? It's giving you that last and final shot to clear away all the bullshit, okay? Now, with Venus joining the Scorpio party, it's bringing in the energy of craving loyalty. Not only loyalty, but luxury and devotion. Scorpio energy don't play that half-stepping energy that came into play. Like, no, Scorpio energy is not here for that shit, okay? If you are not getting treated like the king or the queen that you are, Venus is giving you that green light to exit the stage left, okay? It's time for that to end. Scorpio is telling you deserve the best, and it's time for you to go for that, okay? Now, for those relationships that's already like in a high devotion, high frequency type of space, this is probably going to be a time where you get more intimate, deepen your relationship and deepen your connection. Now, because of the fact that we do have Uranus in retrograde at 29 degrees as well in Taurus, Uranus is like a wild card, and it's also sitting at that critical 29 degree facing off with Mercury. Now, this means that we are getting a sudden shakeup related to money and self-worth. Now, we could see some real true drama shakeup. Now, the external world is getting ready to have like a shock, and it's going to be tied to our transformation overall as a community, with that Uranus energy. So that Scorpio energy is definitely going to play a part in help pushing that energy as well. So if your budget or your belief system has been holding you back, Uranus is definitely serving up a fated plot twist to break you free. Okay, just be ready for it, and don't say I didn't warn you. Now, don't hesitate that change, okay? Now, think of it as the universe is sending you a surprise upgrade. And with any good transformation, you got to get rid of that old to bring in the new, okay? And that's exactly how you have to view it, and that's how you need to be expectant of that energy. You are literally being forced to realize your value, and you better accept that direct deposit. I'm not playing with y'all. Now, not only are we dealing with this stellionic type of energy in Scorpio, we are also looking at a grand water trine. Now, a trine is when you have all three of the same elements within a certain amount of degree of each other, very close together, leaning on each other as though to be a triangle, okay? It's very supportive, and this energy is definitely giving us this emotional support. So this is going to give us that cleansing energy that is needed for that transformation. It's going to give us that energy that we feel like it's really clearing out things. I mean, it's really giving emotional, energetic spot day. That's what it feels like. I really ate with that one. But nevertheless, we have the Jupiter retrograde in Cancer still going on. And that Jupiter, of course, is here to remind us that self-care is power. You got to remember that your ultimate security comes from within, not from anything that is external. True validation comes from self-validation. This is definitely a time to hug on yourself, nourish yourself, and know that you are safe to feel all the feels, okay? Now, when it comes to Saturn and Neptune are in Pisces as well. Now, this brings in a dreamy element. This duo gives us grace and structure. Saturn, of course, being, the strict teacher that it is, it helps us put up our boundaries around our dreams. And this helps us bring the energy into a real goal and not just a fantasy. Neptune says, forgive the past, girl. It is definitely time to let go and wipe that slate clean. So we have a combination of all three of those emotional water energies just being in close proximity of one another and just helping bring each other out. Now, within this new moon, the water energy is definitely doing its thug fizzle outside. You hear me? Now, last month, all the air signs was outside. This month, all the water signs was like, oh, no, we came out to play, okay? Now, don't get it twisted, because Pluto is still in Aquarius, and she like, now just remember the glow up. Now, this isn't just for you. When you claim your power, you inspire your whole crew. Be the lighthouse, okay? Now, she's just a friendly reminder, and she gonna be outside for a while, quite a while, letting us know about this, okay? Now, we also have Mars sitting in Sagittarius, will kind of give us that little fire energy of that confidence of thinking bigger and going after that bigger goal. Now, one of the biggest things that you want to do during this new moon is make sure that you write down the things that you want to release. This is not a time to fear your shadow. This is a time where you go in the dark to go get your gold, okay? Truly shed that old version of you that lived in a place of lack and embrace that new version of you that comes in and is born into abundance, okay? Our subconscious literally dictates the world around us. If we believe that we don't deserve more, then guess what? The universe is not going to give us more, okay? The universe doesn't understand good and bad energy. It just doesn't. The universe just understands the energy that we are walking in. And knowing our energy and knowing what our energy is made up of is very and extremely powerful for us, okay? Now, because of the fact that Scorpio rules joint finances, debt, investments, and assets, with this Mercury retrograde in the 29th degree and Uranus also being in the 29th degree in Taurus, which is the money sign, this is a critical time for financial resets. This is a time to clear out any debt. But the debt that I want you to focus on is not just financial debt as far as your money is concerned. We're talking about self-worth here. People who are broken are typically broke as well, okay? Their pockets is just as broke as they feel. We are clearing out any debt of low self-value in order to bring in that energy of high, massive wealth. This is that feeling that you have been feeling for so long. This is the beginning of that journey of the vision of the person that you have been seeing yourself, that higher version of yourself that you've been seeing. Yeah, her. We're on our way to her or him. Yes. Another thing that you are going to do around this time is reclaim your power. This is in all joint financial ventures or partnerships. This is where you require your respected and justly reward, okay? This is also going to be a very important time for you to purge any scarcity mindset and fully align with the powerful abundance that you inherently deserve. Now, because of the fact that Scorpio is the sign of true intimacy, vulnerability, and also soul bonds, like that real deep bond, that deepened relationship. Venus being here means we are attracting what we truly desire, not just what looks good. Okay. Venus is typically what we look to for when we're talking about partnerships. But Venus is kind of, when it comes to it, very surface level. It's that initial attraction where you like, okay, this is somebody, I could work with them. Okay, they got their self together. They got a nice house. Oh, they driving a nice car. Yeah, those type of things where you're like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can lock in with this person. But when we get into the deepened bond, that's what we go to Pluto for, okay? And since Scorpio lives in Pluto, that energy with Venus and that new moon setting that intention is definitely bringing out that radical honesty about the needs and desires. And it's time for us to only attract people that are capable of meeting us at that depth that we require. Nobody has time to settle. Nobody's doing that, okay? And if there is any emotional baggage that you are still holding on to, detach it. Detach it right now, and don't you pick it back up again. The past hurts. So why are you holding on to it? That makes no sense. Leave it where it's at, so the person that deserves you will come in and give you everything that you have always dreamed of, okay? It is very possible for you to have that if you believe that you deserve that and are willing to actually hold out for that, okay? This is the time for you to fully trust your intuition and release the need to control outcomes, the relationships, and knowing that you are just protected and knowing that you are worth someone loving you correctly. This is where you have those unbreakable boundaries. This is the time to reflect on your high value. Because trust, you are that, and know that. And any connection that attempts to try and diminish that, oh baby, you got to go. Period. Now this new moon in Scorpio is definitely giving that Phoenix rising, shedding the old self entirely. That Mercury retrograde in the 29 degrees is demanding that final goodbye of those old habits and that old self. We are transforming fears into undeniable power, baby. We don't fear anything. We are breaking free of old habits that are self-sabotaging and holding us back from our destiny. And we are definitely trusting our gut intuition and our deeper inner knowing that is guiding us exactly where we are supposed to be. Now, you know this energy is way too powerful for me not to give y'all some homework to do, to definitely take advantage and self-examine on how you could take advantage of this powerful energy, baby. So you know I got my journal prompts. So now is the time when you want to go get that pen and pad so we can take note, Cosmic Cousins. Y'all know how I do. So my first prompt is more of a value check. What material item or outdated value am I clinging to out of fear, even though I know it doesn't align with my empowered self? And how would my life radically shift if I let it go? Now, this next prompt is more dealing with unshakable boundaries. Now, in what area of life, be it friendship, career, or relationships, do I need to establish my fiercest non-negotiable boundary? And what is the consequence I will confidently enforce if that boundary is crossed? Now, this last prompt is more of a future vision type of situation, okay? Now, imagine yourself 6 months after this new moon. You are completely transformed. What is the one thing that you are doing differently that proves that you have finally mastered your Scorpio lessons? Now, don't just write this information down and answer the question. Actually answer the question and embody what the answer is and stand on it, because that's what it's going to be. Yeah. At this point, the energy of the universe is only going to deliver the energy that we feel like we deserve. So you better know that you deserve the world. You better know that you deserve it all. And you better know that you deserve the best. Now, of course, Cosmic Cousins, y'all know I got some affirmations for y'all. Now, my first affirmation deals with the power and transformation. My intuition is my superpower, and I trust my gut always. Now, for my second affirmation, we're going to talk about that wealth and worth, okay? My worth is non-negotiable, and my bank account reflects my value. Now, my last and final affirmation is all about love and boundaries. My vulnerability is my strength, and I am loved for my depth, not my perfection. I set boundaries that honor my soul, and I walk away from anything that doesn't. Period. My recommendation would be choose one of those affirmations and repeat it 5 times throughout the day, especially around the 18th and 19th, around the time of that new moon energy when it is very potent, okay? Understand, under this energy, we are like that phoenix. And this new moon is letting us know that we choose our power. We release the past through that 29th degree, and we step into our ultimate financial and emotional sovereignty, okay? Now, with that being said, Cosmic Cousins, you already know the drill. If you made it this far, go ahead and make sure you hit that like, hit that notification, so you don't miss any of this cosmic tea that I have to sip with you. And I'm out, y'all.